Hey guys, Morten Åstad here. Welcome to my channel and welcome to me entering a competition. Yes, this is Doug's competition. It's called 123 and Doug previously had a channel named Doug and his surname, and he's deleted it and started all over again under a new channel name. Now I'm going to be using a cheat sheet for this. The new channel is called the Auditory Vinyl. What does Doug want us to do apart from being a subscriber to enter this contest? 1. Shout out a channel and show one record you might see on that channel. I want to shout out Gav's channel, Gav at Gav Axman's Gav Axman Spins. Gav reached out to me in a very nice comment in a video I did not too long ago, where I showed that I had found my Smith's 7-inch Grail. I'd been collecting Smuts singles for quite a while and finally found the last one missing from my collection of singles released during their existence, namely their debut single. And we've been talking in comments a bit back and forth, and I've been looking closer at his channel, which I think is roughly 4 months old. As you may tell from what I'm talking about, there is a fair amount of Smiths there, but there's lots of other great artists that I'm very fond of, not, especially British ones. So in a way, I'm depriving myself of one of the possible answers in this by showing this record, which is by a band you may encounter on his channel, and it's this compilation by The Jam, of course, Paul Weller there. And I won't mention the other bands he were in, because someone else might want to pick Paul Weller. Anyway, this compilation I picked up alongside an Elvis Costello compilation. Quite similar records, the compilations, both of them double vinyl records. Among the sort of last vinyl records I bought before I more or less exclusively crossed over to CDs. This was in 1980. God, when was this? Well, anyway, it was on a London trip. It was either, I think, 86 or 87, because I was in London with my dad at both those dates, and I picked up this at Oxford Street HMV, that giant record store that at least used to be there. I don't know what's there now. So yeah, highly recommend this. If you just want to get one vinyl by The Jam, maybe go for this one. Doug's second question is, show 2 albums you never or rarely see in the vinyl community. Yeah, right. So the first album I'm going to show you is this one. Now, who the heck is this? This is a record called Mellan dröm och verklighet. Och det är en skiva, ett album av den svenska artisten Lill Lindfors. And all that gobbledygook was Swedish, which is a language I also speak because I'm also part Swedish. Lill Lindfors is a Swedish artist born in 1940, although technically she's not really Swedish, because she was born in Helsinki, or Helsingfors as the Swedish say, in Finland in 1940, because she is actually a Finland Swede. There's a minority in Sweden still, after all those years under Swedish rule, that speak Swedish as their first language. Another Swedish-Finnish person was the author of the Moomin books. Yes, she wrote and spoke Swedish, although she's very closely connected, of course, with Finland, as is her characters. Lillian Foch sings jazz, she sings bossa nova, Schlager, definitely been into, sort of delving into the folk music as well. She has a wonderful voice. She and Monica Zetterlund are among my favorite female singers on the planet, and some of you Europeans out there my age might remember that she hosted the Swedish Eurovision Song Contest in the 80s, where she came out in a long dress, and then that dress snagged on something and tore off, so she were in her knickers. But then she just did this on the upper part of her dress that was left, and it fell beautifully down. And she once again had a dress. Whoopsie. Well, it was fun. This is also recorded with Bengt Hallberg. Beautiful woman, beautiful voice. So the other artist that I want to show, which is rarely shown in the violin community, and he's of a nationality which is also very rarely touched upon in the violin community, as far as I can tell. I would love to have more music from this country, and I would very much love to have more of his vinyl records, but they're not readily available here. So it tends to be I have to go on Discogs to look at them. And I haven't really sort of pulled the trigger on that as much as I would have liked to. But anyway, guys, this is Etienne Daho. Etienne Daho is an artist from France. He sings in a beautiful sort of whispery voice, not unlike Leonard Cohen. And I think also one of the few places outside of France where he's quite well known might be Canada. In the UK, he's quite known for, at least was briefly, quite well known for having done a collaboration with Saint Etienne. He was born in Oran, in Algiers. I think it was in 1956. And his father was a French soldier, and his mother's family was, I think, if I read it correctly, French, Spanish, and after the France lost Algiers in it was 62. I think his mother was then incapable of getting a job because she was looked upon as being still wed to a man and not being allowed to get jobs without his permission or something like that, and he'd buggered off to France. So they moved to France, and I think he initially lived in Rennes, and then later on other places. Very much electronic music, 80s music, surf music, I would always also like to say. I became aware just stumbling across a video of his on television, sort of roughly 1998, 99 or something like that, called Comme Igloo. And I have a few of his other albums on CD. This is my only vinyl, which I actually came across in a record shop here in Oslo, which is now, about 9 or 10 years ago. So this record is called Le Chanson de l'Innocence Retrouvée. Nouvel album, Les chansons de l'Innocence retrouvé avec la participation de Nile Rodgers et Debbie Harry. So, great artist. I really like him. I really want more records by him, but I keep putting it off for some reason. I don't know. I'm not sure why. So the third task that Doug has set us is show the albums that have one artist, but it has to be 3 different bands that the artist was in. Or solo, could be solo. And I was going to do Paul Weller, and I had one or two other ideas, but I thought, I don't think anyone else will grab this particular fellow. Depeche Mode, Speak and Spell. Why? Well, because of course the songwriter on Speak and Spell and one of the four members of the band there in the 1980-81 period, founders of the band, was Vince Clarke. There are just two songs here that are written by Martin Gore, the rest are written by Vince. And sort of immediately when they started getting some traction and all that, he said, well, I'm done with this, bye. And he did leave the band, and then he did some other projects. He did I think he did a single with Fergal Sharkey, and he did this single called One Day with Paul Quinn. And that didn't last long. I think this was meant to be a project where Vince would, and maybe Paul Quinn, would work with several different artists and release singles upon singles and something like that, but it sort of dwindled out. And after that, he of course did join. He created the wonderful band with the wonderful Alison Moyer called Yazoo, and thinking about the first criteria, the second criteria, show a record that's rarely shown. I thought, well, I'm not going to show Upstairs at Eric and Yazoo's debut album. I am going to show You and Me Both, their second and final album. But Morten, that's just... well, that is technically 3, but I'm not going to count the single because he did say albums. And, of course, now you're thinking, well, next up is Erasure. I never really gravitated to Erasure too much. I don't really... I guess I kind of don't think it was... in a way, quite worthy of Vince and his talent. Yeah, it's not me. So, do I have any Erasure? Yes, I have a couple of things, but I thought I would show this instead, because I don't think a lot of people will show this. This is VCMG. And that's Vince Clarke and Martin L. Gore present VCMG featuring Spock, single blick fusing stripped down percussion, Teutonic precision, and brutal walls of rhythmic noise. Highly anticipated, is not even close, said electronic beats. So this came out in 2012. Yeah. So it's a collaboration between the two songwriters from Depeche Mode, if you don't count Alan Wilder, which I do, or Dave Gahan. So that's kind of cool. Anything else to show? There you go. And if anyone felt jilted or unhappy about it, here's an Erasure CD as well. So, if you don't already know about this competition, please head on over to Doug's channel, and also, of course, to Gav. And yeah, I hope that entertained you and you, Doug. And I hope to see you guys soon in another video. Bye.